Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we got some very interesting price action from Bitcoin today. Let me share the chart here. So at the time of recording, Bitcoin's at $90,180. And the RSI we know over the past month or so was in the oversold zone. So as we've been discussing, the next move would be a reversal in the opposite direction. And the MACD on the daily does show the bulls are in control. On the weekly, we got work to do. Even though the MACD shows the bulls are losing momentum, the red candles are getting very light and weaker. So let's see if that flips very soon. That would be really great for the continuation of the bull market. Now, the big question, as I've been presenting to you guys, is which scenario plays out. Scenario one is a relief rally that doesn't make new all-time highs and the altcoins have a mini rally. Scenario two is a continuation of the bull market, possibly a move to a blow off top where we do have a true altcoin season and the stock market also sees its blow off top. Now, I'm leaning towards the higher probability of scenario two playing out, but I could be wrong, right? So I want to make sure that you guys understand that no one has a crystal ball. No one knows exactly what's coming next. So we have to present all scenarios and look at which one has the higher probability of playing out. Now, some of you may disagree with me. You may say, Tony, I think the higher probability is scenario one, where we just have a relief rally. And you could be right? But we're going to have to wait and see. One of the things I've been highlighting is that the macro factors of liquidity, market structure, bill, and much more, continued rate cuts and so forth, I think align more so towards a continuation of the bull market to new highs. And then I know some of you are going to come back and say, well, Tony, what about the 4-year cycle? Well, I believe that has been disrupted by macro factors such as the tariffs and the extended government shutdown, which change the liquidity timeline. And that's why we're seeing this market go into 2026. And of course, Bitcoin's breaking out of that downward trend that we've been seeing. Now, it is still early, so I am not trying to call home saying, massive green candles coming next week. No, we need more confirmation. I always tell you guys the market has to prove itself. So we need to see further confirmation, but this is a very good start. And it's what we've been waiting for, some sort of relief, right? And the key structural points are still holding. So, one of the things I highlighted in yesterday's podcast and even the day before, we could still retest some lows. Bitcoin could pump to, let's say, 92K by next week or the week after, then roll over and test 78 or 80K again, right? As long as it doesn't break that $76,000 price point, we're good and we're still in this bull market. But if those structures get lost, then it's over, right? One of the good signs, guys, is we are seeing some green across the board. Some of the altcoins are starting to wake up. And, you look at, for example, Dogecoin. Some of the meme coins are moving. Dogecoin is up 13% over the past 24 hours and 17% over the past 7 days. Even Pepe has been killing it. And I don't own Pepe, but Pepe, it is up 23.21% in the past 24 hours, 53.48% over the past 7 days. So we are seeing some life here, but still very early. Again, we need more confirmation, but we're moving in the right direction. And we all know Bitcoin leads the market. So let's see where Bitcoin or how high it goes. And again, expect volatility and retest. Now, one of the key factors I've been highlighting is that Bitcoin whales, according to on-chain data, are starting to accumulate again. Now, they're not accumulating aggressively, but similar to the price, it's a slow, steady accumulation that's happening. But the point is they've stopped distribution, which they were doing since October with the all-time high that was hit back in October. They've been distributing since then, but now we're seeing a reversal, just like we saw a reversal at the beginning of this year after the tariff crash, just like we saw a reversal after the buy the rumor, sell the news event in 2024 with the Bitcoin ETF launch. Right after the halving, we had a big sell-off and then a reversal with the whales buying again. So the same thing's happening here. The data doesn't lie. I'm not presenting anything made up here. These are the facts, guys. So we have to pay attention to them. And again, whether this just leads to a relief rally or new all-time high, we shall see. But this time is different. People don't want to accept that, but it is different. And you look at the Bitcoin yearly candles now that the year has wrapped up. We are negative 6% for 2025. We are in the red. That is a deviation from the previous cycles before, where you had three green candles and one red candle for the bear market. Well, the green candle, the third green candle usually comes the year after the halving. 2024 was the halving, so that meant 2025 should have been green. It didn't end green. That's a deviation from the pattern. In addition, what I just mentioned, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high before the halving. That was because of the ETF launch. That is different. It has never done that in its history. And as just mentioned, has never closed the third year in a red candle before a bear market. So this time is different. That's the data. I didn't make it up. So if you want to argue with the data, go ahead. But it's clearly highlighting this time is different. So this is why I am more leaning towards the higher probability of the bull market continuing, and we hit new all-time highs in 2026 with a blow-off top for the stock market and Bitcoin. So I hope you understand that. By the way, today in my newsletter, which is 100% free, make sure you sign up. I did a full write-up. I included notes about this, different charts, different data points, and what I'm expecting. So make sure you check out that newsletter. It is, once again, 100% free on Substack. Link will be in the description. So folks, let's be patient. Let's see how this market continues, but we are seeing some positive signs, some bullish signs, and we shall see where this takes us. And again, expect volatility. Look, I know I'm repeating myself there because people forget. They some reason they forget certain things because maybe in their own mind they have biases. I'm clearly saying this is a move upwards, but I'm not saying that we are immediately going to pump. We could still see another flush out. This is, markets can fake us out. So just be prepared for it. And once you have experience in the market, you know that these scenarios are possible. So it's not anything to get angry or emotional about. It's just logically, reasonably looking at it and saying, okay, here are the probabilities, here are the scenarios that could play out. So we shall see. One thing I do want to highlight on the monthly, it's flipping green, but we got work to do because right now the bears are still in control based on the MACD. The RSI is still in a good spot. It never got overheated like we've seen at the previous tops in the past bull market. So we got work to do to flip that monthly. But this is where we're going to watch things closely as the price rises in January or February into March and things like that, and see how things play out. We're also going to watch the stock market because if the stock market continues to make new all-time highs, that bodes well for crypto. Obviously, I've been saying gold and silver hitting new all-time highs bodes well for the macro bull market continuing, right? And that there's rotation of liquidity. And right now, gold is cooling off, and so is silver, right? Because they were super overbought, they were overextended. So let's see the rotation that happens here into the stock market as well as the crypto asset class. And one of the things I've been highlighting is the chart correlation that when gold cools off, that's when Bitcoin pumps. And look at what's happening. Again, the data, people keep ignoring the data because they're so caught up in narratives and emotions. Just the raw data is just showing you the pattern that we've seen. So let's be patient and see how things play out. Now, folks, this episode is brought to you by Propy, which is leading the charge of putting real estate on chain. I'm a Propy token holder. I have been since 2018. I'm very bullish on this project. We know all assets are going on chain, folks, even the world's largest asset class, which is real estate. And Propy is bringing blockchain technology to the real estate industry via their own blockchain platform, which allows you to buy and sell real estate. And the process is much more efficient because of the blockchain tech. You can buy and sell properties via Propy's platform for crypto if you want. And they're using AI as well. And they've been around since 2017. They've facilitated over $5 billion in deals. A billionaire investor, Tim Draper, is an investor in this company. They use Coinbase for the crypto escrow service for the buying and selling. And folks, they put deeds on chain. They've created NFTs for properties and much more. They're doing a lot of innovative things in the real estate industry. So check them out, guys. And once again, I'm a token holder. I'm bullish on this project. Visit propy.com to learn more. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, some good news. SEC Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw departs the agency today, leaving an all GOP lineup as 2026 begins. So many of you know Crenshaw. She's one of the Elizabeth Warren, Gary Gensler cronies, right? A very anti-crypto. Even after the SEC lost the case against Grayscale for the ETFs, where the judges called the SEC arbitrary and capricious and in their dealings, right? And that even caused Gary Gensler to then have to approve the ETFs. And because they lost, guess who didn't join Gary Gensler? Caroline Crenshaw. So you can't tell me this person respects the law, even voting no, right? Even though the judges and the courts called them out. It's pathetic. So it's great that she's gone. Good riddance, because this is not someone who is about the law and being fair. She's very political, clearly. And it's not to say that all Democrats are anti-crypto. Clearly not, right? There's a lot of Democrats who are pro-crypto, many who were pro-crypto even before the elections, but many who couldn't really speak up because of Elizabeth Warren. And I'm telling you this because I heard from people in DC about it, because Elizabeth Warren had that powerful financial oversight seat. But now many of them have turned their backs on her, and they're supporting crypto. But Crenshaw was still trying to, throw monkey wrenches in the whole system, because she's, probably just like Elizabeth Warren, being lobbied by the banks and much more. But good riddance, she's gone. So we got the right people in place. That is Chair Paul Atkins, FTC Commissioner Hester Peirce, Mark Ueda, and others. Okay, moving ahead, BitVentures makes the first crypto mining move weeks after NASDAQ rebrand. So BitVentures Limited has entered the cryptocurrency mining sector, launching a new digital asset business less than 2 weeks after rebranding to reflect its new focus on blockchain-related ventures. The Hong Kong-based technology company said it has acquired fleets of mining hardware from Bitmain, including 3 types of Antminer machines to mine Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin, according to a Friday report from investing.com. The company said the acquisition includes 0.5% megawatts of power capacity across data centers in the United States, with the deployment of mining equipment expected later this month. BitVentures described the mining operation as the foundation of a broader digital asset strategy and said it plans to expand in other areas of the sector, including staking and node operations, though it did not provide additional details. So this is really great. We're seeing a lot of expansion, people getting into the crypto industry, and the fact that they're looking to mine these assets is a great sign, because it means they're expecting higher prices in the future. And it's a smart move to do this. And they're including Litecoin and Dogecoin as well. So that's very interesting. So folks, that's the news. Not too much news items today, but definitely some good price action, right? And I think we can all agree on that. So once again, if you want to learn more about the price action and what I'm expecting and different data points and charts, check out my newsletter from today, folks. It's packed with all that information. Again, link will be in the description. Also, you can support the podcast by grabbing a copy of my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And if you want to expand your knowledge about crypto, check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.